A graphic of the Perkins logo swoops across the screen, revealing a chapter heading. Transportation.
Transportation is a big issue in that you can't just go hop in somebody's car. Most of the students that I work with that have powered chairs also have a manual chair, so that if they are just going in a friend's car, they can just use the manual chair and they can fold that up and put it in the trunk. Buses. It's been the law since 1990 that the buses have lifts and that the lifts work. It's 2009, and I'd say 20% of the time in my hometown, the lift doesn't work on the bus. So then what do you do? What's the next step from there? People have to get to doctor's appointments, and that may not be where the buses go. It may be outside the city limits in our case. And paratransit won't take you outside the city limits in our town. So they have to be able to come up with cabs or other van services that have lifts, or they need to come up with other transportation modes for themselves, like either a manual chair or something like that they can use to get in and out.
In a series of photographs, a young man in a motorized wheelchair and a woman in a black coat wait at a bus stop. We can see a bus approaching the stop. In the next photo, the young man is maneuvering his chair onto the bus via a ramp which has been lowered to allow him access to the bus.
When you're talking about transit, the students need to know what's available, what hours that runs, what are the limits of that transportation service. They need to be able to tell somebody else how to take their chair apart, because it's nice that I might have a scooter that breaks up into little bitty pieces, but I'm going to be sitting in the car while you're taking that scooter apart and putting it in the trunk. And then you're going to have to put that scooter back together again. So it may be nice that I, the instructor, know how to take the scooter apart and put it back together, but the student needs to be able to know how to tell a cab driver or a friend or their little aunt from Pasadena how to do that, so that they can still use their equipment, even if they're just traveling with friends and stuff. That's an important part of the training too, is that the student knows everything they can about how to operate the chair, how to take it apart, put it together. If somebody puts it together for them and it's not running, okay, what are some key things that you might want to check to make sure that it's still running? Did the battery wires really get connected good? Did the wire that comes from the controller get flipped over and is now backwards? So they have to know how to do all those things that somebody else may do for them, but they need to be able to describe it to somebody who's just coming to help them out.
Fade to black.